Well, good morning, students. We're going to go ahead and take a look here at worksheets 58 and 59. This will be the video that gets things started. We will kind of explain, talk through a few of the issues, and do some of the questions as well, that kind of thing. Remember, I will try and move relatively quickly. I even don't want our upload to be too massive of a file, but I'm going to try and give you those opportunities to pause the video. Hopefully this video works all right. You may even see that I'm not able to get one of the legs of my tripod out of the way here, but I think overall this won't be too much of a problem, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Notice here that worksheet 58 is focusing on conjunctions. We've been calling coordinating conjunctions for a long time, and that's basically been the kind of conjunction we've talked about. We've still had to call them coordinating conjunctions because there are other kinds of conjunctions. Other kinds of conjunctions we've not talked a great deal about, although in recent weeks we did talk about subordinating conjunctions, and now you'll notice here correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions correlate, coordinating conjunctions coordinate. Remember, we've talked over and over again about how the coordinating conjunction joins two things of equal grammatical rank, which is kind of fancy, but it means word to word, phrase to phrase, clause to clause, sentence to sentence, anything like that, right? Now, a correlative conjunction simply correlates two basic ideas. Now, we will see that happen here in the first couple sentences. So, correlative conjunctions always come in pairs, both and, either or, not only but also, neither nor, that kind of thing. So here we're going to mark all nouns, pronouns, and verbs in the following sentences, identify all the noun functions, and then curiously it does say mark all conjunctions with CC. So it's using CC to abbreviate either coordinating conjunctions or correlative conjunctions here. So either the rain will stop or we'll cancel the picnic. It does want us to mark all nouns. So let's actually go ahead and start where we have rain right there. I'll single underline it for a noun. And then also picnic. We do have a pronoun here with we. So I'll mark that pronoun here. That is an SP, a subject pronoun. This here is an SN, the subject noun. I'll go ahead and just kind of mark off my, the article adjective in that particular case there as well. We've got verbs here. Rain does what? Rain stops. When will it stop? Here is a question of the future. This is a future helping verb, and here is the main verb for stop. The rain will stop, or we. Now, will is, of course, hidden there. That is another helping verb, showing us FUT, future. And then cancel is the verb there. The picnic here is the direct object. Notice that the first clause over here does not have a direct object. The second one does have a direct object. That leaves either or, and I'm just going to draw a dotted line just for fun and for clarity here, of course. This is what's going on. We've got the correlative conjunction, either or. Notice here a single comma separating the elements of the correlative conjunction. A single comma separating the elements of the correlative conjunction. Either the rain will stop, comma, or will cancel the picnic. Okay? Or even if this were something like, not only will the rain stop, comma, but also will cancel the picnic, it'd be the same thing, that comma separating those elements. So they point out that number 2 is a little tricky by using that asterisk right there. Let's take a look at it. Not only am I graduating, but I am also at the top of my class. Not only am I graduating, but I am also at the top of my class. So notice how this can create inversions, the spin cycle as we've called it before. These two words are in the opposite position we would expect them to be. This often happens with questions and other forms like that in English grammar. It'll be easier to consider if we smooth it out just for the time being, just for the sake of our mental clarity. I am graduating, right? Very simple there. SP for subject pronoun. Am graduating, that is the verb. Right? We've talked a good bit about the being verb and its different roles and things it can do. Here it is a helping verb, helping the main verb graduate to mean progressive tense. I am in the midst of the process of graduating. Maybe this is a student who's literally in the last weeks of school or something like that. I'm in the midst of the final tests. I'm getting ready for it. I got my gown today. I'm looking forward to the graduating date or something like that. With that in our minds, we should even pause to pray for those who are graduating this year, whether it's our school or another one, and for their peace and comfort at perhaps some of the festivities that person might lose. Now, it says also, but I am also at the top of my class, subject pronoun. Here, this time, it is a linking verb, do you see? Notice how we have separate uses of am. Am graduating to make it progressive tense. Now I am linking the subject I to the verbal idea at the top of my class. Two prepositional phrases. We're not actually required to do much with the prepositional phrase in terms of the directions. I do kind of want to point out, notice that it's saying I am, I'm existing or something like that, you might say. Where is that happening? At the top. Therefore, this is modifying the verb. That's adverbial. I want to point out here, top, this object of the preposition, this noun, which we do need to go ahead and point out, mark all noun functions. That one here is being modified by this whole prepositional phrase. So top there is modified by this phrase. Therefore, this phrase actually is adjectival. Okay, so we are not technically required to mark the adverbs. Also is an adverb here in this particular case. Oh, excuse me, what am I saying? Well, it is an adverb in that sense by itself. But here I need to point out that actually these can be separated, the elements of the correlative conjunction. That doesn't change at all the fact that but and also are working together as the second half of the correlative, just like not only are doing up on the front half. Okay? These two are not separated. These two happen to be separated by I am. Okay? Like I've mentioned, because this is rooted in an adverb, in an adverbial form, though now we would take it as a whole and call it a conjunction, it can move, though. Adverbs can move all over the place. And here, you could still say, not only am I graduating, but also I am at the top of my class. It could be said either way. Once again, just like we had up here with am I and I am, you could sort of test it by moving it. It can look a little bit clearer to you if you move it that way. And so that is how that sentence works. We need to go ahead and just add then that CC in both of these places. Okay. Now, either leave or start your work bill. Here's kind of a unique one. Either leave or start your work bill. Okay, leave is a verb. Start is a verb. You may be thrown off a little bit by the sentence, and the key is that these are imperatives. They are verbs of command. Okay, you, then, an implied subject pronoun you, is the subject actually of each of these clauses. Okay, you leave or you start. That makes your work, of course, work here is a direct object. Your then is an adjective rooted in a pronoun. You could call it a pronominal adjective, a pronoun adjective in that sense. That is what's going on here for the direct object. In fact, in this case, a compound direct object, you could say. So either leave, well, if you want to say it's leave your work, either leave your work or start your work. That would be the compound direct object. Now, either is the coordinating conjunction, correlative conjunction, or is the correlative. Either or. It's joining, in this case here, what could be two independent clauses. Bill, I hope you're even getting ahead of me here, is the noun of direct address, or the vocative, as it has more traditionally been called in history there. So you may have begun to think that Bill was the subject. That is because in the real world, Bill and you are pointing towards the same person. But by grammatical form here, you is the subject of each of these verbs in that case. We will finish it up here with number 4 because your because your directions do say that you'll do the first half here with Mr. Sun. So you're welcome in that case. You'll be halfway done. We received both a lecture and a punishment. Now, notice here that we are not this time joining full clauses with our correlative. The correlative can correlate at different levels as well. So we is a pronoun. It is a subject pronoun. We received. All right, received is the action. Who or what received? We received. What did we receive? We received both a lecture, there's a noun, and a punishment, there's a noun. DO in both cases, the direct object, okay? Both and, I'll just do a dotted line just for the clarity here, they are working together as correlative conjunctions. Both this and that. I'll go ahead and just mark, but not really draw the arrow for the sake of space on my article adjectives there. Both a lecture and a punishment. So again, some of you are accustomed to doing like CDO, compound direct object. That would be fine in that particular case. So let me go ahead and set this up once more. You could even pause it. Maybe I'll zoom in just a little bit to try and give you a little bit more clarity there. If you want to pause it right on that view to make sure you've got things in good shape. And then we'll check back in later on and you'll be able to look at the rest and hopefully you've got those things right. Take care.